Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we will be reading Trinath Abhisunichena, followed by the Prabhupada Lila Amrita. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjan Shalakaya Chakshur Unitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Baka Dharma, Baka Dharmika. Similarly, Baka Dharmika, the Baka came from the Baka, similarly, Baka Dharmika, the Baka came from a Vaishnava. He put some cotton on his beak and drink water. The small fish came. Oh, Baka, Baka, what happened? You are drinking water with the cotton on your beak? Oh, yes, lest you enter into my beak. I am putting this cotton so I will not eat you. I have become a Vaishnava. Don't you know? I am wearing tilaka, chanting on beads. I have become a Vaishnava. Unless I put the cotton on my beak and water and drink water, you will enter my beak and I will swallow you. I put cotton on my beak so that I don't eat you. The fish became so amazed. Oh, now he is not eating us. So all the fish came and played around him fearlessly. Then the crane thought, oh, in order to catch one little fish, I have to stand for hours with such a concentration. But now they are coming and playing around me. This is a golden opportunity. One after another, very easily, without any effort, I can catch and eat all of them. Yes, he is Baka Dharmika, a hypocrite. A person like that, though appearing outwardly as a Vaishnava sadhu, is envious. He cannot understand the Parama Dharma Tattva, Nirmatsaranam Satam Vedyam. Only a non envious devotee can understand this tattva. Parma Dharma Tattva, Bhagavad Dharma Tattva. That is what the Bhagavatam teaches. One who is completely free from the desire for enjoyment, one who is absorbed and 100% engaged in the loving service of Krishna, giving all enjoyment to Krishna, can understand. I am not the enjoyer. Krishna is the enjoyer. No one else can understand this. The reason behind it is sense enjoyment. Why will you become intolerant and envious? The only reason for developing enmity is sense enjoyment, thinking oneself the enjoyer. How can I get more enjoyment? I will not share with anyone else. Only I will enjoy. Vrakasura asked for a boon from Lord Shiva. Please bless that. If I put my hand on someone's head, he will die immediately, and I will remain alone and enjoy everything, whatever is in this world. It will all belong to me. That means he only wants this spoon for selfish reasons. Both the demons and demigods are not free from the desire for enjoyment. Though they are demigods, though they are serving the Supreme Lord Narayana, Vishnu, and though the Lord has given them the opportunity for so much enjoyment and a long duration of life in the heavenly planets, still they are not free from the desire for enjoyment. If someone performs 100 horse sacrifices, Indra becomes envious. He becomes that person's enemy and creates so much trouble for him. After Prithu Maharaj had performed 99 horse sacrifices and was about to perform the 100th horse sacrifice, Indira came disguised as a sannyasi and stole the sacrificial horse. This is narrated in the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The demigod became envious because I am Siddhakruta. I am the person who has performed 100 horse sacrifices. Therefore, I have become Indra. Now, Prithu Maharaj is performing these sacrifices in order to occupy my position. I will lose my position and all enjoyment. Therefore, Indira became envious and Prithu's enemy. This is the only reason. Everything belongs to Krishna. Krishna consciousness is the only solution. When intelligent people, leaders of both parties, came together for sadhu sangha and accepting a bona fide guru, They will receive knowledge, Tattvajnana, then they will understand their constitutional position as eternal servant of the Lord. When this realization comes, we will achieve everything: peace, prosperity, and happiness. There will be no question of enmity, rivalry, intolerance, and fighting. Nothing belongs to us, everything belongs to Krishna. We are the servants, not the masters. We are not the doers. Our duty is to serve the Supreme Lord Krishna and give him all enjoyment, all pleasure, and happiness. Chapter 9: Give up pride to develop Krishna Prema. Krishna is known as Leela Purushottama. He manifests many varieties of pastimes. Lord Rama is known as Maryada Purushottama. He is he very strictly followed Ved Maryada, Vedic etiquettes, rules and regulation, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known as Prema Purushottama, the topmost enjoyer of Prema, who gives Krishna Prema indiscriminately. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who is more magnanimous than any other avatara, even Krishna himself, because he is bestowing freely what no one else has given: pure love of Krishna. Sri Rupa Goswami offered this pranam mantra to Sriman Mahaprabhu. He describes Mahaprabhu as Mahavedanya, the most beneficent incarnation, because Krishna Prema Pradaya, he gives Krishna Prema indiscriminately. Now we will read the Prabhupada Lilamrita. Page 304. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to preach the Sankirtana movement of love of Krishna through the entire world, and therefore, during his presence, he inspired the Sankirtan movement. Specifically, he sent Rupa Goswami to Vrindavan and Nityananda to Bengal, and personally went to South In this way, he kindly left the task of preaching his cult in the rest of the world to the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Vrindavana is Prabhupada's residence. Religious people in India as well as religious scholars in the West saw Prabhupada as a Vaishnava sadhu from Vrindavana. When he began his preaching in New York City, he would often introduce himself as coming from Vrindavana. Here I am now, sitting in New York, he once said, the world's greatest city, but my heart is always hankering after that Vrindavana. I shall be very happy to return to my Vrindavana, the sacred place. The people of Vrindavan also thought of Prabhupada as their hometown success. Upon retiring from family life in 1954, Prabhupada had gone to live in Vrindavana, first at a temple near Kashi Ghat, and then at the Radha Damodar temple after taking sannyasa in 1959. He had continued to reside in Vrindavana, and when not living there, to reserve his two rooms as Radha Damodara. Vrindavana is the home of Krishna consciousness, the place of Krishna's childhood pastimes, the place where the six Goswamis, sent by Lord Chaitanya's, had excavated holy places, written transcendental lecture, and built temples. Any devotee could feel at home there, and thousands of Vrindavan's residents carried bead bags, chanted Hare Krishna, and wore the Vaishnava Tilaka and dress. Vrindavan belongs to Radha and Krishna, and this was still acknowledged by the residents of the present day Vrindavana. Ultimately, Vrindavana is revealed only to the pure devotee. Vrindavan is the internal residence of all spiritual souls in their eternal relationship with Krishna. The Vrindavan in India is a transcendental replica of Golok Vrindavan, the eternal planet where the Krishna resides in the spiritual world. The pure devotees aspire to attain to Golok Vrindavan after finishing their life in this world, and Prabhupada, therefore, as a pure devotee of Krishna, naturally felt at home in Vrindavana. He sometimes said that if he were to become very ill, he would prefer not to go to hospital but to simply go to Vrindavan and there pass his last days. To spread the glories of Vrindavan, Prabhupada had left Vrindavan, but like a traveler away from home, he always thought of returning. Chapter 1. Please distribute books. San Francisco, July 5th, 1970. I think we are at the volume 4 now. Srila Prabhupada was attending the 1970 Rath Yatra in San Francisco. The day was cold and windy, and about 10,000 people had joined in Lord Jagannath's procession through Golden Gate Park. Srila Prabhupada had danced in the street with thousands of participants during the parade, addressed a large crowd in an auditorium by the beach, and looked on as his disciples had distributed a free vegetarian prasadam feast to thousands. But when a devotee arrived with half dozen advance copy of volume 1 of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada appeared specially pleased, surrounded by devotees and curious festival goers. Srila Prabhupada held one of the books, admiring the front cover with its full picture of Radha and Krishna. The volume was big, almost 7.5 by 10.5 inches, and its dust jacket shone silver with large bright red letters Krishna. It was a transcendental wonder in Srila Prabhupada's reverent hands. Onlookers could barely restrain themselves from pressing in against Srila Prabhupada to peer over his shoulders, and they didn't restrain their exclamation when Prabhupada smiled and opened the volume. He examined the illustration, the print, the paper, and the winding. Very nice, he said. He fixed his attention on a page, reading. Then he looked up and announced that this great valuable book, Krishna, had just arrived and that everyone should read it. Holding one book in his hand, with the other copies stacked before him, he said that anyone who so desired could come forward and buy a copy. People began clamoring, and hands with $10 bills thrust forward while voices cried out begging for a copy. And Prabhupada promptly sold every book, not even keeping one for himself. For the devotee, Srila Prabhupada's selling of the Krishna book was the most spectacular event of the Rath Yatra festival. They poured over the purchased books in groups discussing Krishna pastimes and the effect that would have on the people of America. Brahmananda told how in 1967 Prabhupada had given away his advance copy of Teaching, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya in his room at 26th Avenue in New York City just before that book had arrived. Srila Prabhupada had been sitting and talking with Satyavrata, a disciple who had previously stopped coming to the temple due to pretty quarreling with his god brothers. When the copy of Teachings of Lord Chaitanya had arrived, Srila Prabhupada had lovingly inspected it and then offered it to Satyavrata as a gift. Okay, devotees, I think we are almost at 6 a.m., so we'll stop reading and we can continue chanting for 1 more hour. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna.